the world was 2 degrees warmer Celsius than it is today. This is 2011. And stop. And he said, and I said, well, you mean the whole world? He says, yes. And the polls are only benchmarks. And I said, well, what about the things that the young woman alluded to? Okay. And he said, it's all cyclical. And although the gas may have exacerbated it, in the cosmos of time, it's not a fart in the wind. In the cosmos of time, of the 13.8 billion years that we've been on this miserable planet, it's not a fart in the wind. And as I told Joe Rogan on his show, and he said in his infinite wisdom, and Joe, if you hear this, I thank you for the opportunity of being on your show. He said, then in 25,000 years, it's most likely not going to be a problem. Now, my direct answer to your question, if that were really true, which you believe, and let's just for a moment say that it is true, that means that the best scenario vis-a-vis global warming is about 10 feet raise in water. That's the best scenario over the next 40, 50 years. That's the best scenario. The worst scenario is about 100 feet. But let's just take the 10 feet. If the water on the planet is going to rise up 10 feet, that means the southern part of the United States is gone. England is gone. Most of Europe is gone. And I can go, most of Central America is gone. Okay. If that's the case, let's just take Florida, for example, which is one of the fastest growing beachfront condominiums on the planet. In the prospectus, when you invest, there should be, in the footnotes, if global warming is for real, they won't put it that way, global warming happens and water rises 10 feet, this investment you made is fuck all. Not one single investment prospectus written since 2000, this century, has alluded to global warming. Not one motherfucker. If it were really true, the banks wouldn't invest. The banks wouldn't finance. Not one motherfucking condominium. So the people that have the money, and I'm jealous of the Vice President, Gore, which Sally and I rode on a plane from South America with a few years ago. I am jealous he came up with a scam before I did. Because the financial institutions, the banks of this world know it's not going to happen. Otherwise, you couldn't get a goddamn loan in London. You know those 30, 40-year mortgages? The world will be over by then. Is Barclays Bank going to give you a motherfucking loan? With the greatest respect, ma'am, it's the greatest fraud that's been perpetrated on mankind this century.
Nancy Pelosi just gave the 2-minute warning. If you follow financial news, you know that Nancy Pelosi just sold off a whole ton of stocks for a massive loss. And the only reason I follow her is because she's notorious for insider trade, or more accurately, her husband makes a lot of amazing predictions as to what the stock market is going to do. So somebody with insider information pretty much has just blown the whistle that the stock market is going to crash very soon. Last night I was talking to somebody that gets a lot of their product for their business from overseas, and they usually buy it in bulk, but they're not allowed to buy it in bulk anymore because in the last week, the American dollar has lost so much value on the international market. So for every dollar that you have in your pocket, on the world stage, you've got 80 cents. So before that drops to zero, you might want to go grocery shopping, get gas, and probably a helmet, because shit's gonna get crazy.
Yellowstone National Park. Strange noises heard in Ireland.
Ah, kok julid? Guys, ternyata nggak cuma Sam Smith yang dirumorkan ikut Illuminati. Doja Cat pun akhir-akhir ini sering banget dibilang pengikut Illuminati. Selama 1 bulan ke belakang, Doja ini sering banget ngelakuin hal yang ngebuat fansnya sendiri takut, guys. Mulai dari photoshootnya Doja, yang di sini tuh Doja pakai headpiece yang berbentuk tanduk setan. Di foto lain, Doja juga pakai penutup muka yang ada tanduk setannya juga. Terus foto profil TikToknya Doja juga berubah jadi serem banget kayak gini. Dan guys, Doja bahkan juga punya tato yang melambangkan setan. And yes, gara-gara ini banyak banget netizen yang ngejulitin Doja. Ada yang komen, Doja please jangan bilang lo ngejual jiwa lo ke setan cuma untuk ketenaran. Ini nggak lucu Doja. Ada juga, sayang banget ngelihat lo malah ke jalan yang sesat. Lo kenapa sih Doja? Banyak banget juga netizen yang komen unfollow. Dan guys, Doja tuh ngebales komen unfollow ini dengan ngomong, bye loser. Oke guys, sebenarnya Doja tuh udah ngomong kalau ia bakal tetap ngelakuin hal-hal yang berbau Illuminati, tapi ini tuh cuman bercandaan aja. Tapi yang menjadi pertanyaan adalah, menurut kalian ini tuh Doja emang cuma bercanda atau enggak?
A woman named Sarah Winnemucca, who was a descendant of Chief Winnemucca, the Paiutes, wrote a book in the 1800s and recounted her people's battle with this race of giants, the Si-Te-Cah. Now, what's fascinating about this is that she says that it was an actual battle, not part of tribal lore or mythology, but something that actually occurred. The Si-Te-Cah were red-haired and lived in the mountains near the Paiute Nation.